As the Leaves Fall, a Zen Parable. In the heart of ancient Japan, there was a serene Zen monastery nestled between the mountains and a glistening river. The monastery was known throughout the land, for it was home to a wise and revered Zen master, Sijin. One day, a young and eager novice named Taro arrived at the monastery, seeking wisdom and enlightenment. Taro was a vibrant youth, full of ambition and curiosity, but also burdened with a restless mind. He had left his family and everything he knew behind to pursue the path of Zen. Sijin welcomed Taro warmly, recognizing the flame of enthusiasm within him. He understood that Taro's journey was just beginning and that it would be a path of learning and discovery, not without its struggles. In the early days, Taro threw himself into the monastery's daily routine with zest. He rose before dawn, meditated, performed chores, read scriptures, and practiced martial arts. However, as the days turned into weeks, Taro found himself struggling. His mind was still restless, filled with questions, doubts, and frustrations. One day, he approached Sijin and said, "Master, I have been following the routine diligently, but my mind is still in turmoil. I am filled with questions and doubts. I do not feel any closer to enlightenment." Sijin looked at Taro kindly and said, "Taro, come with me." He led Taro to a beautiful old maple tree that stood in the monastery's courtyard. The tree was in the midst of shedding its leaves, a spectacle of brilliant red and oranges against the clear, azure sky. Sijin pointed to the leaves gently falling to the ground and asked Taro, "What do you see?" "I see leaves falling from the tree, Master," Taro answered. "Indeed. And why do you think the leaves fall?" Sijin asked. "Because it's autumn, Master. It's the natural cycle of life. The leaves must fall to make way for new growth in the spring," Taro said. "Exactly," Sijin smiled. "Just as the leaves must let go to allow for new growth, so must we let go of our doubts, fears, and misconceptions to make way for enlightenment. It's a process, Taro, and it takes time. Be patient with yourself." Taro pondered Sijin's words. He understood the analogy but struggled to apply it to his practice. His mind felt crowded, like a tree laden with leaves, and he didn't know how to let them fall. As the weeks turned into months, Taro continued his practice. He tried to let go of his doubts and fears, but they seemed to cling to him, like stubborn leaves refusing to fall. He felt stuck, frustrated, and increasingly desperate. One day, as autumn gave way to winter, Taro found himself standing by the maple tree. It was bare now. Its once vibrant leaves now a carpet of crimson on the frozen ground. He felt a strange kinship with the tree. It had let go of its leaves, standing bare and vulnerable against the winter chill, while he still clung to his doubts and fears. Just then, Sijin approached Taro. He looked at the tree and then at Taro. "It seems you and the tree are not so different after all," he said. "The tree has shed its leaves, and you have shed your patience." Taro looked at Sijin, his eyes welling up with tears. "I try, Master, but I cannot seem to let go. My doubts and fears cling to me like the stubborn leaves." Sijin looked at Taro kindly. "Taro, do you think the tree struggles to let go of its leaves?" "I suppose not, Master," Taro answered. "Indeed. The tree does not resist the season. It does not struggle or strain. It simply lets go. It trusts in the cycle of life, in the wisdom of nature. It knows that in letting go, it makes way for new growth, for life. So too must you trust in your journey. Let go without resistance, without struggle. Trust in the wisdom of your true nature, in the cycle of your growth." Taro listened to Sijin's words. They resonated within him, like a bell tolling in the silence of his heart. He realized that his struggle was not with his doubts and fears, but with his resistance to them. He was like a tree straining against the season, refusing to let go of its leaves. From that day forward, Taro practiced with a new understanding. He learned to observe his doubts and fears without resistance, without judgment. He allowed them to be, to rise and fall, just like the leaves of the tree. As Taro let go of his resistance, he found his mind becoming quieter, more serene. His doubts and fears began to lose their grip, falling away like leaves in the autumn breeze. He found himself growing, just as the tree did in the spring, blossoming into his true nature, his true self. Years passed, and Taro became a devoted disciple and a humble practitioner of Zen. He learned to live in harmony with his mind, with nature, with the world. He came to understand the wisdom of the falling leaves, the wisdom of letting go. In time, Taro became a Zen master himself, guiding others on their journey, just as Sijin had guided him. He shared the parable of the falling leaves, teaching others the wisdom of letting go, the wisdom of Zen. And so, the cycle continued, just as the seasons, a testament to the enduring wisdom of life, growth, and letting go. The monastery, the old maple tree, and the Zen masters stood as silent witnesses to this timeless cycle, a living embodiment of Zen. And every autumn, as the leaves fell, they whispered the tale of Taro and Sijin, a gentle reminder of the wisdom of letting go. The wisdom of Zen, the wisdom of life.